Hey friends, Shay here. So it is time to audit the TBR. So today what we're going to be doing is going through the entire TBR. One, we're going to see my interest level on a lot of my novels. My manga, I know I'm all interested in all of that. I did a clean out of that not too long ago. But I know that my tracking of my TBRs has not been absolutely accurate lately. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go around the house, make sure I have all the books and all the manga in here that I've purchased recently. And then we're going to go through and we're going to rescan everything into my Libib libraries. Now, if you're not familiar with what Libib is, this isn't sponsored. I'm just telling you what it is because I think it's a great tool. It's a way to scan everything on your TBR or in your home library into one place so that you can keep track of what you have. I am not the best at doing this, which is why we're going to do an audit. But yeah, so this is a way for me to keep better track of my TBR. Since I've started using it, I'm making less like double purchases on manga volumes, things like that, because I'm keeping better track. So we're at the point now where I need to do an audit because I know that I haven't been tracking things. So I've gone through the existing collections, which I just had read books, read manga, manga TBR, book TBR. So the only ones, I'm going to leave my red ones alone because I don't really, as I'm updating Libib, I usually move things over, but I don't really add things to that shouldn't be. So for the manga TBR, pre-rescanning, we're at 122, which was over 200 at the start of the year. So that's amazing regardless. And then on my book TBR, we're at 180. Now, the one thing I'm doing here is I did eliminate all of my mass markets from my book TBR list before grabbing this number because I'm not going to be including my mass markets in my TBR anymore. I have to be in a very specific mood to be picking up a mass market or going on a trip and I don't want anything super bulky. So when I'm picking up mass markets is very far and few between, and I don't think it's going to be accurate if I'm having those numbers in there because I read them so infrequently. But physical books I read more frequently, but I know that I want this number to go down. So basically this is my read what you own mid-year TBR audit. That's probably what we're going to call this video. I don't know yet. Either way, first step, I'm going to go through the book TBR and see what else needs to join this stack, which is my try a chapter stack, where I'm going to try a chapter before moving them actually onto the TBR. So anything I'm not sure if I'm still interested in is going to go in that stack. As you can see, that stack is already large. So I have been auditing a little bit as I went through the home library, home office makeover and moving them in here and whatnot. So I'm going to go through all the books again, really sit on it, vibe check it, and see what goes in that list. I'll probably do a lot of the scanning actually tomorrow because I do need to leave for work in about an hour. So I think I'm going to spend this hour kind of going through the books here, making sure that what's on the shelf is things that I'm genuinely actively interested in, and anything I'm wishy-washy about joins the stack on the floor next to the shelf, to see if it's actually going to be on the TBR. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that try a chapter in this video or in its own. We'll see how long this video is because we're already 4 minutes into my rambling. So let's go ahead and start going through the TBR.
너란 바람에 흩날리는 사랑인가 봐.
So going through it before, I actually did a much more thorough job than I thought I had. So I will probably split those into multiple videos where I talk about them and whatnot. One of them, I have quite a few Book of the Month titles from the last time I did a Book of the Month Try a Chapter. So I'll probably do another one of those. I haven't been getting any Book of the Months lately, so just because I'm trying to decide whether I'm keeping the subscription service or not. So with that, since I am on a limited time crunch today, I may start scanning just from my phone. I do have a little like handheld scanner, but I would need to hunt down my laptop and it's kind of buried from all the moving stuff around. So I'll probably pull that out tomorrow, but we'll see how far I get on my phone today. I do think I'm going to start with the manga and then we'll move to the books because I'm pretty sure the manga is the number that is the least accurate at this point. So with that said, let's go ahead and see what we can get scanned before I need to leave for work.
부족할 수도 있지만 떠나가면 안 돼, 떠나가면 안 돼. 약속. 1, 2, 3, 4. 내 맘에 그대가 불어와 향기로 꽃을 피우고 내일을 기다리는 이유 It's you Always you
Okay, friends, scanning of the manga TBR complete. I'm just about ready to head out to work. And the updated number is 198. As I said, I know I've been buying a lot recently and I hadn't been scanning it in. So I wanted to make sure that this number was accurate. So the fact that I was over 200, got down to 120 means I've been reading the stuff that was on my TBR, which is great. I've been filling in a lot of gaps in my collection and finishing off series and stuff. That's been a big focus of what I've been doing this year. But I've also been still buying quite a bit because we're back up to almost 200. And there might be a volume or two around the house that I've missed. So there is a chance that we are actually at 200 again. So what I'm going to do over the next week or so with my manga TBR is I'm going to pick up some of the series where I have a lot of volumes and try to read down a bunch of those because that will help that number a lot. So as I've been doing this TBR audit, I am going to set small goals for myself to make myself successful with Read What You Own. So because Read What You Own is basically it's a year-long challenge where your whole focus is to read the things that you physically own. I've not been doing as well at it this year as I wanted to, but looking at where I started in the year with my manga number and where I got to before I scanned all the newer things in and did a rescan, I feel really good because that means I am reading what's in my collection and what I'm bringing in. So I just need to continue to do that. So I've got a small stack here on the desk ready to go for me. So I'm very excited about that. As I said, I do need to head to work. So I've got tomorrow off. I do have a couple things going on in the afternoon, but in the morning, I'm probably going to come in here again and start scanning the book TBR. And again, I think that's going to be closer to the 180. I've not been reading as much physically as I'd like to this year. And I saw a few things on the list that I had read, so I went ahead and moved them over before I got that number for you. So I don't think that number is going to change a little bit. If anything, it's going to go up, and that does make me a little sad. But it's just going to motivate me to focus in on it. So with that said, I am not upset, even though it went back up to almost 200, because I have read so much so far this year, and knowing that a lot of that got missed in like the scans of like things I was picking up and reading right away, and things like that. So I want to make sure that my older things do get read as well. And sometimes with certain series, like with Yona of the Dawn, I like to read them in 5-volume blocks because 1 volume is never enough of Yona for me. So I will be reading those once volume 45 comes out, because then I'll have 5 volumes. I like them in 5-volume blocks. And I know we're getting close to the end and I'm so sad. But again, very pleased with the progress. So now we're going to switch gears. Probably tomorrow morning. If I get home and I have energy tonight, I might do a little bit tonight. But we're going to start scanning the book TBR next. And that will be the next thing going on here. So with that said, I'll see you later. Okay, friends. So it's been like a week since I filmed the last clip of this TBR audit. So the manga TBR, I have done a little bit of shopping since then. So the official number for manga is 211. I have started scanning some of the books. I've scanned my cart and then my little tiny shelf that I have like my active, I want to read you soon books on. So today, before work, we're going to tackle the bookshelf back there. We might get to the TBR or the try a chapter stack. I'm not sure. We're going to see how I feel. It's only 9, so there's plenty of time, but it's draining to do this. That's just reality, and it's fine. I would never, it's a lot, and I know I'm excessive. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I work for Barnes & Noble. I get everything for a really great deal with my employee discount, so I probably buy more than most people, and I'm going to admit that straight out right here. At the same time, I have a partner that basically covers the majority of what we need to pay in bills. I have a few that I pay from my paychecks, but other than that, my money is basically fun money where I get to travel, I get to buy books, I get to do my hobby kind of things. So if you're going to sit down there and have the excessive, consumption discussion, don't bother. It's fine. I am responsible with my money. I'm not going into debt for books. I'm doing this at a pace that works for me. And yes, right now it's stressing me out and I want to read it down, but I am the person that is going to be taking care of it, not you. So I hope you enjoy this anyway. I'm going to go ahead and get to scanning the books and I will see you guys at the end when I have that number for you. Right now we're currently at 61 from the cart and the little shelf there. So wish me luck.
Girl, you got me down so bad. I can't say enough. She pull up with that new thing. Please don't fall in love, 'cause I think of you all day. Yeah, I was running through my brain, can't be nothing. 'Cause I just know you got me thinking about forever. Gotta crush, crush, crush on you. I just wanna be your only crush, crush, crush on you. I'm not the type to give it in, read it out till you're mine.
Okay, friends, so I just finished scanning the actual shelf and the new number, because I did decide to cull a few as I went, because I'm like, I'm really not going to read this as I was touching it. And so those are now leaving the collection. So my physical book TBR, as it stands, is currently at 166. I do have that whole stack of try a chapters. I'm going to catalog those separately. I'm assuming there's about 30 books in that stack, maybe more. And then I have my mass market collection, which I'm not including in my TBR number anymore because I have to be in a very specific mood to want to read a mass market. So I'm really happy with that number because that number was easily over 100 books more at the beginning of the year. And I don't think a lot of that's like my mass market collection, honestly. I think it's just I have actually been reading my physicals and getting rid of things that I know I'll never read. So between those two things, that's great. That's great news. This does include my light novel collection, which I have, that number probably accounts for 30 to 40 of these books are actually light novels, which are Japanese short form fiction, if you're unaware of what a light novel is. So yes, I'm very happy with that. I am going to go ahead and scan my Try a Chapter collection so we know how big the TBR could potentially get. But again, I'm still very happy with this number as it stands currently, and I'm feeling good about getting rid of even more as I was going through. Because that has been one thing, is a lot of my physical TBR has been on my physical TBR for 5+ years. So if I really thought I wasn't going to read it, I let it go. And that made me really happy. So with that said, let's go scan the stack.
You know I gotta crush on you. When I was looking outside, girl, you got me lost in your eyes. I got you when you're falling. Just know that I won't be here for long. Thinking of you all day, yeah. Running in my head, all or nothing. 'Cause I just know you got me thinking about forever. Gotta crush on you. I just wanna be your only crush on you. I'm not the type.
Okay, so as I was going through this stack over here, as I was going through them, there were books that I was genuinely not interested in anymore. So those have gone. So the final number for that is 39. I'm very pleased with the numbers as they stand right now. So the manga TBR is at 211, but I do know that I have been reading older titles off of that and finishing some series like I was intending to this year. So I'm okay with that number. My book TBR is at 166 with 39 in the Try a Chapter stack. And again, I'm very pleased because I was in the high 200s at the beginning of the year on my physical TBR. And I don't think that was all my mass markets because there's maybe 40 in those drawers. There's really not a lot. So with that, I'm very, very pleased because that means I am going through my TBR, reading things I'm interested in and getting rid of things that I'm not. Because again, a lot of this physical TBR has been sitting there for 5+ years. So either getting to reading them or getting rid of them is great. I'm very happy with that, and I'm not mad at any of it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. What is your current TBR status? Let me know down below. Let me know if you're happy with that number or not happy with that number. If you're dissatisfied with that number, you're welcome to join us in our Read What You Own challenge. I will leave a link to our Discord down below, where it's a group of people trying to keep each other accountable for reading what we bring in. So with that said, thank you again for watching. If you're here just because you love me, leave me that glorious book stack emoji, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.